I'm someone who utilizes Upwork a lot in terms of being a client and hiring various freelancers to do all kinds of tasks for me. Whether it's something creative, administrative, doesn't matter. It's something that I've utilized for many, many years and have had overall a good experience with, right? Now, it wasn't until recently where I needed to have other people collaborate with me in terms of a particular project that I wanted to hire out through Upwork. And this is a problem because Upwork is not built in this way. Let me explain. So I've had many projects throughout, the number of years that I've been doing this. And what I was looking for was to invite a coworker onto a very specific project. So, we're doing this movie and we're looking for someone to help us out with the budget. And so, we're looking to hire somebody, and in terms of my team that I built around me, I want them to take ownership of certain things. And I said, hey, can you, through Upwork, go and find this person? You can sort of keep me in the loop. And, in that way, it would be wonderful. Like, what I did was create this briefing of like what we're looking for. And then this other person, my coworker, can micromanage, the interview process, the vetting process, and so forth. And then we can come to a decision. Now, yes, you can invite a coworker or team member, as they call it, into your quote unquote organization or whatever. But the way they break it down, and this is kind of an article that literally showcases what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do, it's very limiting, right? In terms of how the access is delegated. And so you can see that I have my team member here, and I essentially gave the person all the permissions that I can, because that's what I need them to have in order to be able to fulfill what I need them to fulfill in terms of this project. But I only want that for this specific project. The downside is now they have access to everything else. Now, luckily, it's a person that I trust, and it's a very short-term thing, just a few days. So once we've found somebody, I can take them off the project and so forth. But it is a huge kind of glaring, pitfall, let's say, of Upwork, that I can't specifically select people for a particular project. It has to be kind of all or nothing. And again, you can manage the permissions that they have in terms of they can hire, they can do this, blah, 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 but they can. The problem is it's not project specific. For me, that is an issue, right? So I've been kind of thinking about this, and a workaround that in hindsight we could have employed is to make a per project account for Upwork. So in the case of this, we would have made one specifically for this project. That way, any projects related to this, any talent that we need to hire out, would be all associated within this Upwork account. And that works, right? It is a workaround. Of course, the annoying part there is now you have a separate account that you have to manage, and this and that, and it's a little bit cumbersome. So you kind of just have to think about like what's going to work for you in that way. But sadly, I just wish on Upwork's end it was much more streamlined, so there didn't have to be like these workarounds and concessions with any option that you choose, that instead like you could define the permissions much more easier, right? And so unfortunately it's a frustration of mine. I wanted to highlight it because you might be facing something like this, and at least provide a solution of how you can kind of go about this in that way, right? So I hope this helps. Feel free to comment down below with your experiences of any of this stuff. And if you have a better solution, I'd love to hear it. And hopefully Upwork in, the near future, or at least the future, can devote some resources to kind of really broadening how teams and their memberships work in terms of their team permissions. Because, I don't know, it doesn't seem that odd to me that you would want this, right? It's not a sort of nebulous feature, let's say. So anyway, That's what I have for you today. Thank you as always, and I hope to see you next time.